Okay, let's see if they try to interfere with my video this time. Personally, I think it's rude and it's childish, but it isn't surprising when they do it because whenever they do it, I must be really hitting a nerve. So if you go back and you look at all my videos where, they make me sound like Satan, you know that they're messing with me while I'm making my video. Somebody texted me about DMSO and castor oil together. In fact, really today, what I would like to do is cover some of the health things that I've been doing. One of the things that I've been doing is I'm starting to talk about Dr. Lodi's protocol because I tried all of the horse paste and all of the goat dewormer and even some fish things, and I do believe that they will do the trick. But my issue is this: I believe that basically what it's going to take is it's going to take a blitzkrieg. If you're going to get the mama, the mother of all mothers, out of your dirty ass, you're going to have to go deep, 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 deep into the tissue. And to be honest with you, if you do that, you're going to take a chance on driving the parasites deeper into your organs, specifically their final home where they got no place else to dig in is your not your liver, but your the next thing. Anyway, I just don't. I'm just not going to be satisfied with just fasting. I am gonna fast. I am gonna get the buggers out, and once I've gotten the buggers out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue to do the Ayurvedic, which is a natural way, the wormwood, which is a natural way, the cloves, which is a natural way, the walnut, which is a natural way. But I don't think that's going to work for 60 plus years of eating the worst food that has ever been offered to the human race since the very beginning. And because of that, I'm going after them with, things that you would find in a feed store, but in a form that humans would take them. They have these medicines for humans. You can take these medicines for humans. If you take these medicines for humans, you'll feel a little more human when you do it because, honestly, no offense to horse paste, because if that's all you have access to, that's better than nothing. But you have to remember that you are fighting a war that has been going on since the very beginning of, beings in a flesh body. And parasites are the troublemakers. To give you an example, if your body is a temple, and if the things that live in your body are there because they're alien. In other words, they're not part of your body that you were given. They're alien. If they're assailing you like the aliens here on the earth that do not belong here. They're up on this earth realm trying to take control. And they have control. In fact, in your Freemasonic Bible, they'll tell you that Cain has control over his brother, which he killed, by the way. Well, which brother is that, pray tell? Well, remember how Adam and Eve had a child. And in my Old Testament, called the Targum of Palestine, and there's many other versions. There's like 5 different Bibles that agree with each other. And possibly more than that. We know that the Catholic Church changed the scriptures because they just admitted it. They even admitted that they worship, Satan. If you look on TV shows, serious movies that are brought to you under the guise of science fiction, you will notice that all of a sudden, after years of rest, they came back with the Alien series, the movie Prometheus. And if you look at Prometheus, the giant in Prometheus, the people who lived on the so-called planet, which is nothing more than an island outside the ice wall, okay, where they're from. I'm talking about the Anunnaki. They show you the Anunnaki. They show you that David, the android, the AI android, goes there and destroys the entire race of them. But we see in the movie that they are worshiping these xenomorphs. And they are all known to be parasites. They impregnate inside you. And when we look at TV shows like Stargate SG-1, we see the same thing. So you can say, oh, well, that's science fiction. But it is in your Bible, and you can prove it out. That, basically all of us are derivative of some, part of us is out of the animal kingdom. Now, some of us are clean. In the Bible, it will say clean animal. Noah was to put these animals on the boat in 6s and these in 2s. So what was it? The unclean animals only in 2s. That's so that they didn't overrun. Well, guess what? They've overrun. Okay? And that's because the murderers, the thieves, the pedophiles, them that do not have boundaries and that will never have a boundary. There is nothing that will stop them. Just know they are Satan's children. They are the RH positives. Now you can say, well, I know some RH positives and they sing pretty good. You need to understand better what the definition of good is, perhaps. Maybe you don't know what good is. Let me give you some examples. Their God is a God of commerce, though everything here was originally free. There was nobody charging us for food. Food was ever present and always at our fingertips. And we ate the first provision, the first command. The hominids here ate the first command. It's been proven. There was a documentary on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there. I cannot tell you the name of it, but I can tell you that they found Australopithecus in a cave in South Africa, the cradle of civilization, Africa. And they found there that if they tested the teeth, and that was the first thing they did, they could derive what that hominid was eating. Guess what? The first commandment. So we know that there has been an intervention of an alien force here. Likely there is more than one alien force, okay? Now you can say, oh, okay, well, we had all these animals here. We had the creepers. That's what it says in the Bible. We had the animals that creep. And by the way, they're sort of originally here on the 5th day. And then we have the birds. And then we have the creepers that are under the water. And then we had the fish. And notice that, like, what is it, the Alien Files? I don't know the exact name of the show, but I was watching it today, and they're trying to study whales and dolphins in order to understand how to communicate with the greys. Hello? What have I been telling you? These are Inkies, humanoids, that he did the same thing that he blended with hominids. He blended the Anunnaki DNA. But see, these are a group of fallen angels. And keep in mind when it talks about them that were locked into the second heaven. In other words, they got locked there and put in prison there, and they are hanging and awaiting judgment, according to Enoch. Now, if you were locked there and you were hanging and awaiting judgment, you would think that you would be behaving well. So I don't know much about what the Greys do. It kind of is a toss-up. But on this same show, they literally said that originally our government back in the 40s talked to the Nordics, which I believe to be the Anunnaki, the tall whites with the beautiful appearing physiques, blonde-haired, blue-eyed. And interesting, when we think about all the people of the world, we go back to the Anunnaki book, the Lost Book of Enki, the Atrahasis. There are many others. Okay, I'm personally not interested in Thoth, okay, and his teachings. I just feel like Thoth is one of them. And I just feel like Thoth, you know, ultimately they're all supporting each other because they are here. They can't leave. They can't get out of here. They're stuck here. They all of Enlil and Enki's children, I call it the Hatfield and the McCoys, because they hated each other and fought and caused all trouble upon the earth. And this is why they were punished. Enki was finally sent to under the sea. The story of Atlantis is the story of him being banished to under the sea. But, you know, they continue to break their barrier of the sea in their flying saucers and their, you know, DNA modified alien greys who don't seem to be able to procreate. So they've got to use human beings as a source of DNA. And they impregnate, people that they abduct and then take these women's children away. They're using human beings. Exact same thing that they did in the Anunnaki rock opera that I showed you. If you haven't seen the Anunnaki rock opera, you need to go and look at it. It's from Brazil. You need to look at it because you have the white people, and that is the Anunnaki. Now, within the Anunnaki, you have another group called the Igigi. Now, the Igigi are apparently a group of colonized workers, okay? They've agreed to join the Anunnaki. They've possibly been given Anunnaki bodies so that they can appear to be like the Anunnaki, okay? But ultimately, they are not the ruling class. They simply, work in the mines originally until they got to a place where they said, hey, man, you're abusing the crap out of us. You have oppressed us beyond all. We are not your whipping boys. So to make these happy, Marduk had himself, a little earth wife, and he became king of the Rh positives. And specifically, he is quite literally, he is the constellation Aries, which is another name for Mars, which is another name for the god of war. Let's try to be sure that we don't miss this fact. And interesting how there's a day that separates him and his father's Aquarius day, which is that day, that 91st day of the winter. And then you have the, 0 point. That's my interpretation. Many of the ancient calendars do agree with my interpretation in one way or another. If you look at Chichen Itza, you're going to get it from there. So you can accept it or you can, but it's clearly 90 steps, 4 sides. That's your 94th, or rather 91st. That side is your 91st. And all of these are temples. All of these are temples. So if we are, if our body's a temple, and we have all these parasite aliens inside of us, are we really that different from the earth? So how is the earth going to survive unless the earth gets control of the bad seed, the seed that has sprung up, that must be, reaped and bundled and burned, okay? They got to be put away. They got to be reaped and bundled and burned. That's according to scriptures. Whether you want to believe it or not, we see that they're already burning Hawaiians alive. They're burning their cars. This is why I'm wearing the blue. This is not the only blue that I wear. In fact, I recommend that you learn which frequency you are. See, my frequency is the middle of the rainbow. It's a green frequency. So I wear a lot of green. But I wear the blue for protection because we live in a world where the blue is going to protect you because, well, all you have to do, I'll put a picture up here for you. All you've got to do is look at the United Nations, their clown costumes. I'm talking about their military in the blue like this. I would never wear this color otherwise. But I know it has protection, okay? There are literally people all over China who are painting their roofs blue. Why? Why? Why aren't they painting it red or yellow to go with their gold 5-pointed stars? Don't forget that, because that's telling you that they're part of the 5-point star program. Remember, I keep telling you about the 5-pointed stars. Now, many of them will use that 5-pointed star thinking that that's who they are. But the reality of it is that's an Anunnaki. That's literally Zeus, okay? But when they fall all the way to 3. And you don't really see that many 3-pointed whatever. You'll see the 5-pointed upside down in the goat. And remember this thing about goats. Just remember, goat means the greatest of all time. Who is the greatest one of all time? Greatest of all time. That's what a goat is. That's why the Baphomet goat. You get it? That's why Pan. Get it? That's why. And I do eat there, but I don't eat their bread. So I do eat at Pan Era. But just so you know, I will eat, you know, the grain bowls, and I will eat the green, you know, smoothie with the mangoes and all the greens in it. By the way, just for the record, you need to drink a green drink at least once a day. I don't care if you eat something with it. Doesn't matter. It's a great way to fast for part of the day. You take your supplements. Whatever them supplements are, we can discuss it. Some supplements, but you know, some will do you some good. It's a proven fact that supplements will benefit you if you're getting them from a good source. Can you get crappy ones? Yes. You know, everything I get is vegan. I'm not interested in eating anything that's bovine, chicken, or otherwise. I'm not interested in dead flesh, okay? That's Satan's bag. That's Satan's food. And when you start studying the Anunnaki cuneiform tablets, you're going to find out that that was their favorite food. And I think the guy's name is Charles White. I cannot remember, but he's the one that lived with the tall whites, the Nordics, in just outside of Las Vegas. And, you know, they even had a conversation with the women who, by the way, consider themselves better mothers than any of the human beings. That's what they say. They say they're better mothers. Now, keep in mind, they are going to be Rh negative. So that's O negative, okay? And then you've got their counterpart, the Mars people, which are the O positives. That's Marduk's crew. Get it? Mars, Duke. Aries. He's a ram, but he is the god of war. Do you understand? And it makes perfect sense because, you know, Marduk is by far the most retarded of all the brothers and cousins. He is literally responsible for his own brother's death. Yes, they can die. But now remember, their game is they don't want to die. Because if they die, they have to go be judged. Who wants to be judged if you're Anunnaki? I dare say none of them. That's my position. Now, some of their children, they don't know who they are trying to be good. I'm married to a wife who tries to be good. She's got a terrible temper. I've always called her the Ellie Mae Clampett of my life. She is a woman who was very beautiful, big blue eyes just like the Anunnaki, not real tall, and their children don't tend to be tall unless they blend with Rh positives. And then when they blend with Rh positives, that is the recipe given in the book of Enoch, the first one, of how you get a giant. And it turns out all those wicked giants that they had to get rid of because they were so wicked they just couldn't tolerate having them around anymore because they were eating people, mostly who they eat, because they just want to screw the women. It's not that they're particularly straight men either, because they can go either way, but they want to have progeny. And part of their game is to blend their progeny with Rh negative women. There is a breeding program that's been going on here from the very beginning. And if you listen to their song, Creep, let's look it up. It's worth looking up. Creep lyrics. There you go. When you were here before, I couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so effing special. Sounds like you're not real happy about it, doesn't it? But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? That's exactly right. What are you doing here? You don't belong here. And you say it with your own mouth. I don't belong here. And that is correct. I don't care if it hurts. I want to have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. In other words, we don't seem to be too interested in you. Could that be because of your all-around general attitude that we can now see beyond the shadow of a doubt? You are no longer hiding in the shadows. You have come out of the shadows. And you are woke. And you want to pedophile children. You want to eat your meat. And you want the antidote to go with it. So that's another thing that's a problem. See, I'll take the antidote and then I'll fast and I'll eat right and I'll take care of my temple because I've been able to get the alien out of my body. Who's the alien? The fungus among us, the whites. Particularly the blue-eyed, and I say that because they have their own songs about that too. In fact, one of my favorite things to motto is, you know, the, what's the TV show? CSI Miami. I've taught before on these videos that their God's name is Y-E-A-H. And they do a rebel yell. You can hear it every time CSI Miami comes on. And if you listen to the song, you will hear the truth about how it works here. Right here. Meet the new boss. Same as the old boss. Why is that? Why is the new boss the same as the old boss? Because they are liars, cheaters, thieves, murderers, and they will do whatever it takes. Pedophiles. I'm not just talking about pedophiling young boys. I'm talking about pedophiling young girls. What they want are Rh negative women. They don't have no desire for me. They don't have no desire for me. In fact, their favorite thing to do is to get rid of us so that they can have our women. They're nothing but a bunch of goddamn pirates. I'm talking about the creeps. I'm talking about the Rh positives. Now, many of you A and B positives may have at one time, you may have been Rh negative, but you were given an opportunity to learn some things here. And apparently you're so smart that you kept making wrong choices because you couldn't grasp the idea of natural law. And it's interesting because if you would just have adopted natural law, you would have understood that you're protected. Ultimately, you're protected. Now, that does not mean that you have to take shit off of any one of these bastards, okay? If you keep the first command. You keep the first command, and according to their own scripture, you can crush their heads. Got me a real nice boomstick. It's a stun gun. It's a baton. It's about this big, and it's heavy. And if I can't zap you and shut you down from hurting me, my friends, my family, and anyone else, I can basically hit you over the head with it. And I will, if you assail me. I have the right to protect myself if you assail me. Now, just know that I don't have no gun to shoot you in the face. I don't need a gun to shoot you in the face. If I needed a gun to shoot you in the face, I would have it, and I would just shoot you in the face. But I don't need it. And I don't really want to kill you. But I will watch you cry like a little girl and lay down there, you know, unable to move. I'm okay with that. I don't have no problems with that. So if you come at me, just know that you're going to get it. You're going to get the fire coming out of my mouth, and you're going to get zapped. And let me tell you, there's a reason that the cops use this method. Not only does it affect your parasites the same way, but it also will make them flee. So I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing you a favor, whether you know it or not. Blink. I see you blinking. Now, that does not mean that when you get, because I see y'all online. I've been watching y'all online for years. You know, I know all about it. I don't have a Facebook account anymore. But when I had Facebook, I saw the fenbendazole, the horse paste, that all y'all were taking so that you could eat what you want to eat. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to get you where you want to go. You are going to learn about natural law, or you're not. And if you don't, you're going to earn yourself a place on Pirate Island where there's no women, there's no children. Don't drop the soap. All the things that you do and that you want your society to be like, bullying children, because that's really all you are, is a goddamn bully. And your God is the bully of them all. Howard O. Pittman got to talk to him at the gates of the third heaven. Hello? Now, will he punish his own people after this is over? Absolutely. This is the meaning of the serpent eating its tail. Okay? But that does not mean I have to take any shit off of you. Okay? And I'm not going to. I'm not going to support the United Nations. I'm not going to support the federal government. I'm not going to support anything that does not have natural law in it. If it's got natural law, I'm there. If it doesn't have natural law and you're trying to make a slave out of me, no. No. Your days are numbered here. You don't know it yet, but your days are numbered. You're going to pay for everything that you've done here, and you're going to pay dearly. It's going to be just like it says, where you wake up, you went to sleep from this world with great pomp and circumstance, because you were a mighty man of fame. And basically, let's get something straight right now. Let's just not make no more bones about it. If you are famous and we know your name, and by the way, you don't know my name, but and that's the way it's going to stay. But if your name is known and you are famous, okay, you're famous because you worship Satan. Now let me tell you how that works. You will have to make a choice to murder something that you love. Let's take, for example, John Travolta, who probably doesn't have the balls to murder somebody in his family that will put up a fight. So he picks people in his family that are not quite cognizant, or he picks somebody that loves him but didn't see him coming. Because actually I saw the way that she smacked Tom Cruise around. And I'm like, okay. But these are sneaky bastards whenever they're trying to worship their God. And they will get you. They will get you. But it only does them good is if they love you. So you see, they've turned their back on their loved ones to murder them so they can worship their God. Do you understand? That's what they're doing. Killing babies, drinking their blood, sacrificing the weak women, trying to say, oh, they wanted it, they asked for it. Yeah, right. Mm-mm. 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 Just remember, you have been warned. You've been warned. There's no problem with you not having an understanding of what's going to happen to you when you do die. The only thing you're not convinced of yet is that you can live forever. And you can't. You can't do it. You're not going to be able to. You don't think you can kill an android? Are you kidding me? They killed an android in the first movie, Aliens. David was this far from being dead in the Alien Covenant. And what did, what's her name? Numi Pace. What did she do? She saved this dirty AI ass. That is the mistake. Don't do it. We're not going to save your ass. We're going to go ahead and let you die. Because we want you to be judged. That's what's happening. You're not going to get a pass on that. You're going to go before the creator of all beginning, and you're going to pay for what you've done here. There won't be no domo arigato. Mr. Roboto, thank you very much for giving me a place to hide. How's that song go? Let's look at that. Let's take a look at that. You're wondering who I am, secret, secret. I got a secret. Machine or mannequin? Secret, secret. I've got a secret. With parts made in Japan. Secret, secret. I got a secret. I am the modern man. I got a secret. I've been hiding under my skin. My heart is human. No, it's not really. My blood is boiling. My brain is IBM. So if you see me acting strangely, don't be surprised. See, this is the movie Cell. Stephen King's Cell. When they get connected up to the internet and they're being controlled by AI. See, AI is Satan. Where does AI come from? Comes from CERN, right? That's Satan. That's where Marduk's throne is. Okay? King of the white people. King of the fungus among us, because if our body is a temple, then the fungus that's inside of us are the white people. Yeah. So you're nothing but a fungus. That's all you are. You are literally the cancer of this world. Anunnaki. Now, you are the children of Anunnaki, and you tend to take after your father, But some of you don't. And for you, I wish the absolute best that your future can bring you, if that is truly the way you're living. If you have adopted the first commandment, forget about the 10, that's Enlil. The first commandment was before the Anunnaki ever even got here. They weren't even here when the hominids were eating fruit, grass, and leaves, herbs, right? The medicines of the world. Anyway, I'm just a man who needed someone and somewhere to hide to keep me alive. You're nothing but a goddamn clone. Really, you're an organic robotoid. And anybody who doesn't at least spend a day looking at Donald Marshall stuff is really missing the picture. Because they've been able to do this since the 40s. And the technology just gets better. And every once in a while we see one of them really malfunctioning. Right there on TV. They're showing you how when you see them with that blank stare and they look like they're asleep. Now many of them will have their mouth open. Looking all retarded, okay? Because ultimately they think that they're going to get salvation through that mechanism. They think they're going to live forever and not be judged. And they're petrified. They're petrified to be judged. Yep. They just don't want to go there. No, no, no. They don't want to go there because they know. They know. And years gone by, they hadn't been able to avoid it very easily, but they figured out some tricks of the trade. Ooh, let's transfer our stinking, dirty-ass spirit to somebody else. So let's talk about that for a second. So I know that there's a lot of you on here that have not cleaned your dirty asses up yet. You need to pay attention, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something you hadn't thought of. Now, some of you have gotten the big, brilliant idea that astro projecting, in other words, eating mushrooms or ayahuasca or acacia tree, or whatever hallucinogen you can get your hands on, frog toxins, whatever. You think that you're going to become a shaman, a shaman. Let's just look at that word for a second. A shaman is a beast, okay? He got the fangs of the shin, which is a letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and is the calling card of the beast. Interesting how we get that same thing in Jesuits. Now, not Jesus, because they have said, well, Jesus, we're not. But his other name is Yeshua. Or some version where there's a shin in his name. That's a beast letter. That's signifying to you the beast. If you want to go there, you go ahead. You go there. Okay? If you watch my last video, you know what I think. You know, all these false flags, they've done this before. The Bolshevik revolution, you think that somebody's going to come and save your ass. But it's not going to happen that way. You are going to have to save your own ass. And I can tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt that if you think that you're going to be able to take them hallucinogens and go flying, I am against those that teach my people to fly. What is that? Isaiah, Zechariah, it's in there. It tells you that there is someone that looks out for you, for number one, and that they're being manipulated into flying. How can you fly? Oh, you're talking about with the bird wings, like the Anunnaki get to fly. You know, they're just wearing bird wings because they flap them and they fly around like a chicken. Now, you know, apparently they've got really light bodies. In other words, they don't have no weight to them. They're light as birds. Look at Charles White's videos. I think it's Charles White. I can't really remember. I'm sorry. I just don't remember. But he's the one that wrote the book Tall Whites. So that's how you'll find him. Tell you what. Well, there's no shortage. I want to talk about Billy Meyer, but the guy we want, yep, there he is right there. Sorry for the wait. What is this guy's name?
The alien whose CIA name was Range Corps Harry, for example. One time I saw him walking in the soft.
Kind of a geeky guy. His name is not here, so it's hard.
And after he
this is why I can't remember his name.
Measure the depths of the footprints he left.
Okay. So, images. There he is. There's his phone. Walking with Tall Whites. You would think just once here they would give the name of the author. You would think so, but they're not going to do it. Interesting. Interesting. Not one place on here do they have this guy's name. Not one place. It's not here. They got everybody else's name here, but they don't have his. Interesting. Charles Hall. There you go. Charles Hall. And if you go and you look up Tall Whites in your images, you will see the women are always beautiful Anunnaki. They think they're such great mothers, you see. They're way better than human mothers. And, you know, that's exactly what my wife's bag is. She wants to raise Rosemary's babies, you know, Damien Rat Bastard's children, because, you know, she hates him so much. I have no idea why she would want to raise them. But I do see that they're better off with her than they are with his family. Because his family is family tradition, Freemasons, and therefore mafia. So it's better for them. Anyway, so there you go. So I'm reaching the end of my time here. And I've got things that I have to do today. Normally this is a day off for me. But I have some things I have to do. I will continue to make videos as long as I can. I am concerned about the 4th of October. But I'm telling you that there's no such thing as 5G in your phone. You may be paying for 5G, but you don't have it on your phone. You tell me one person that has said their phone works better because they have 5G. I've got people on TikTok opening phones up and there is no 5G chip. There's not one single 5G phone in all of Canada. So what are those towers for? Well, we already know they're a weapon that they're planning on turning many people into zombies. Now, when I first learned about pellagra from watching Dark Matter, Strange but True, my wife and I went out and bought a bunch of niacin because we found out that was the cure for it. And we said, well, when we run into zombies, we'll just give them some niacin. But zombies are far more in trouble than that. However, I am going to tell you that if you want to get past your stupidity where you got the vaccine, and now we got morticians coming forward saying, oh, what is all this black magnetic stuff? It looks like black goo. Pardon me, from Prometheus. But it's graphene oxide is what it is. It's magnetized, and they've found a way to get metals into your body without your understanding and knowing. This is why I'm telling you, now listen to me good. Drink a green drink every day. It'll help you get rid of your heavy metals. Your fungus, your yeast, wraps itself in heavy metals. And if you do your greens, and you do them religiously every day, and you're going to add something else to your diet, you'll get past your vaccine. You'll get past it. And you can buy on Amazon for, I don't know, $15, maybe less. 1,200 milligrams of activated charcoal, 90 count, which is a pretty good deal. And you take that at night before you go to bed, so that in the morning when you wake up, poo out, right? Gone. And then you can also take EDTA, which I believe is in the form of spirulina or one of those greens. Just all the greens. Just get the greens in your system, okay? If it's green, get it in your system. Get the celery. It's humic acid is what it is. You want the humic acid to carry, the heavy metals out of your body. You want the activated charcoal. to take heavy metals and get them out of your body. You can see just by looking at my face here that I am dealing with detoxing right now. Whenever you get that kind of crusty on your skin and in your eyelashes and on your forehead, it looks like rosacea. And years ago, I used to have raccoon mask right here. And I did not know how to treat it, but I found out that I could use Ayurvedic soap. It's like $2. It's like the cheapest soap ever. It's Ayurvedic, and you know, it's Indian soap. And you know, I go with a kind of a specific kind, but the bottom line is that you can get it in different kinds. You know, you can get it with aloe vera, you can get it with, you know, many different kinds, and it's good. And if you put it on your skin and, you know, you just let it soak in a bit, and then you wash your face, make sure that you rub. Now, when you rub, it's going to get rid of all the feces and the crap that the dirty bugs are putting on you. That's what rosacea is. And all related, which are talked about in the Bible. But see, you don't know that's what your problem is. So you don't know how to take care of it. And the way I'm doing it on the outside is I'm scrubbing. And I mean, I just scrub. And I have scrubbers that I use. But the reason that it's coming out now is because I'm knocking the shit out of them. And, you know, I said I was going to look up for you what I ordered. And I came up with a company, All Day Chemist. And if you go through Your Girl 1978 on TikTok, and you give her a donation, she'll get you in, and you'll be able to get whatever you need. And there's a protocol, so they make suggestions. Let's see if I can nail this down. Yeah, so let's look at this. This is worth looking at, and then I'm going. So I'll tell you what I got. Okay. I got 12 milligram. Doesn't say how many. 12 milligram ivermectin, 500 milligram tenaba, Mabex 100 milligram, 4-can, 200 milligram. These have American names, but this is coming from overseas. Originally, when I had it in my cart, it was 250. It ended up being 205. And it's about enough. Hold on one second. I'm going to try to tell you. Sorry, it's taking a second. I wasn't prepared to do this. Here we go. Sorry, I hate to waste anybody's time. Interesting. Not able to find it when I'm looking for it. But I gave you the names. I can give you the amounts, but the thing of it is if you go through Your Girl 1978, you'll be able to make a donation and she'll help you get it. I'm going to try one more thing. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to be successful. No, I'm not. And I apologize for taking up your time, because had I been able to give you this, I could have shown you all that I got. But believe me, I got enough for like a solid month, and then I'm going to do some time off, and I'll do another solid month and a week off, and another solid month and a week off. And so I'm going to war with the creepers and their spirits, whom, by the way, I meant to say this earlier. So all you people that want to go do hallucinogens, okay, where you leave your body, you have an outer-body experience. Just know that when the householder's away, okay, and goes off in dry places, okay, the robber comes and he brings more robbers with him. So what does that mean? That means you get, now you cleaned your dirty ass out, but you went flying because you were taught to fly by, I don't know, these O negatives who seem to be shaman, okay? And make no mistake about it, that is the largest religion there is. What's his name? John Allegro wrote books about psilocybin being the god of the Essenes. Okay? They dropped mushrooms on both sides of my house. They made it very convenient for me. I did go and I bought the spores, and I did grow my own mushroom garden in a box in the dark. Interesting. Where do you think white people come from if they don't need melanin to protect them from the sun? Yeah, you better think about that. Saw a movie called The Cave. They had dirty white bastards coming up from Yeah, these Anunnaki didn't come from outer space. They saw birds and they said, "Oh, let's make us some wings." They might have had some technology where they could, fly around while they were here. Take a boat while they were here. Whatever. Maybe even take a train. But the bottom line is that they're not from... So, like when I watch this alien TV show, and they start talking about everything that NASA talks about. I'm like, but something that they'll say like, we'll be going to Mars by 2030. I'm going, well, you're already going to Mars, dude. You're getting out of the circle, the ice wall circle called Antarctica. And you're going right there to Mars. Because in my book, remember the book I showed you? Terra Infinita? All of them are there. All them places that they always talk about in heaven, they're all outside the circle. They're all there. Yeah. Outer darkness. That's what it's called in the Gospel of the Holy 12. Outer darkness. And it must be that they don't have a sun like we do. See, they've got you fooled pretty good. See, the final insult is the Catholic Church saying that they worship the sun. Oh, it's sun worship. Oh, no, it's not sun worship. They're worshiping the 12 constellations that the sun goes through. See, they are the 12 constellations. We are the 12 constellations. You see, they're worshiping themselves. They're not worshiping the sun. But it looks like they worship the sun. They're not worshiping the sun. I'm telling you, they really don't want to face the sun. Because the sun, there's no secrets. If there's light in the room, the sun knows what you're doing. You understand? If he's on the other side of the world, maybe the moon knows what you're doing. But so what? Really, is the moon really concerned about your dirty asses? I don't know. But you've been getting a free pass here on Earth, on the top. You see, because the sun is actually a loving God and provides us with everything that we need in our world. Yeah. But you have coveted everything he has provided, and now you're trying to take it all underground. Ooh, we're going to have, our Bill, what's his name? The Microsoft geek and all the Chinese, farmland in here in North America. Oh, we're going to feed our people down there. Really? You sure about that? You're going to eat meat is what you're going to eat. You're going to do like you've always done. You're going to eat each other. That's what you're going to do down there. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to eat vegetables down there. No, you're not. You may think you are, but you're not going to. You're going to get your golden pass, your golden ticket on your cell phone, just like the movie Greenland. And you'll go down under. To avoid the meteors, the fake meteors, all they are is weapons of mass destruction. But you're going to avoid them, but you ain't coming back out. See, you're going, but they're going to put a padlock on the door. And you will not be back. You will finally be where you belong. That's what's coming. And for those of you who end up in outer darkness, in Mars, that's a place of punishment. Guess who the first people to be punished there are? The pedos. That's number one on the list. Anybody who did anything to children will be punished. So that's what you have to look forward to. Hope you like it. I'm going to have to bolt out of here. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. Have a really nice day. Those of you who are trying, have a nice day. Those of you who are not, so be it. You had your choices. You made them. Don't come crying to me. Thank you very much. That is all.